Winnebago Outdoor Adventures puts on both rallies and caravans. A caravan is where a bunch of motorhomes get together, typically 22 coaches, and journey someplace. Last year we went from the headwaters of the Mississippi down to New Orleans over 6 or 7 weeks. A rally is where you stay in one place and they bring buses in and take you places and feed you and go to someplace special. They do this for the Albuquerque Blloon Fiesta and the New Year's parade in Southern California. So we're here with 104 people and in Albuquerque, and we had a great time. It was well done. The food, the entertainment, and of course the Blloon Fiesta. So what follows are a bunch of pictures and some videos of the balloons that we saw and the times that we had and the people we met. Here are TC and Jim Wiley, good friends of ours that we met on the Mississippi river trip. They joined us at the Blloon Fiesta. Both Judy and TC are avid quilters, so they are just absolutely the best of friends. As you go through the rest of this slideshow, you probably see them caught in all kinds of different poses as we capture balloons and stuff. On Saturday morning, I'm up on a little hill overlooking the launch field, and I see this balloon coming down at a rapid rate. So I got the chance to see my first hot air balloon landing, the first of many for over the next week. What's interesting here is that circle, that dark circle on the top of the balloon. It's about a 10-foot diameter hole that is normally covered by what they call a parachute to keep the hot air in, but on landing they pull a long line and open this up so all the hot air can rapidly escape and they can get the balloon down before the wind drags them further downwind. Before the Blloon Fiesta gets started in earnest, Winnebago takes us on a tram ride up to the top of the Sandia Mountain. So the base of the mountain is about 5,500 feet and the top is 10,348, where we get a view of a ski area on the backside and get a great look at the downtown Albuquerque and the balloon field itself. Here's the car we rode up in. You get an idea of the ruggedness of the mountain. A nice but somewhat hazy view of downtown Albuquerque. Here's a good view of the Albuquerque Blloon Fiesta grounds. The bright green area you see is grass. It's the balloon launch field. They also are able to land the balloons there sometimes. The white ring around it are vendor tents, every kind of food you can imagine, arts and crafts. To the left, the brown area there is where the motorhomes are parked. There'll be 1,700 of them there during the midweek. Saturday morning, things really start rolling at the Blloon Fiesta. This is the first day of what they call mass ascension, where 550 plus balloons launch in a very short period of time. There are tens and tens of thousands of people here to watch this. It's a spectacular time, lots of excitement, beautiful balloons. Especially impressive are the balloons as they rise aloft with their burners running before the sun comes up. We're especially lucky to meet a feisty young woman named Tamara and her balloon that she calls Tamo. A delightful young woman who is really into ballooning. She actually, I guess this is her 4th balloon. And she says that's a little silly since you can only run or fly one at a time. But what follows is a series of pictures where the balloon is inflated. They inflate it first with a small engine with a propeller to just blow cold air into it to get it to into shape, and then they tip over the basket with the propane burners and blow hot air into it, and then the balloon rises into a vertical position, and they call that going hot. And then they when given the signal by the ground officials, then the balloon's actually allowed to launch.
Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I need to know.
There are balloons and people everywhere. There's over 550 balloons launching that day, and during the week they're expecting over 1 million people to visit the launch field and the balloon grounds. One of the things that makes Albuquerque so special for hot air balloons is the way the winds are typically in the morning. The wind would be a light breeze coming out of the north, which brings the balloons directly over where the RVs are parked, and then they ascend up a little higher, and the wind, because of the way it blows off of the Sandia Mountains, brings them back over top of the launch field. So it makes for a very easy retrieval of the balloons once they land. Of course, everything, as they say, that goes up must come down, and so the Albuquerque winds were a little quirky this day, and they came over top of the motorhomes, but the southward upper level winds weren't blowing, and so they brought the balloons down just south of the launch field, right in the middle of where all our On Tuesday, things have slowed up a little bit on the Blloon Fiesta, so Winnebago takes us to Santa Fe, and Old Town Santa Fe, and buys us a nice lunch in a hotel, and we are entertained by a Spanish dance troupe with various types of dances. In a little bit, you'll see a very nice lady who gives us lessons in how castanets came about and how they work. On Wednesday evening, we were entertained by Mr. Sid Masters and his compatriots. Very entertaining. I guess we would call it country music, but it wasn't nasally country music, but more pop country. And great entertainer. And then you also get a view of the tent and the 104 of us who were in there for meals.
Up on the ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once somebody heard a red-eyed cows he saw up onto the ragged skies, and up a cloudy draw. Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yo, Ghost riders in the sky. Their brands are still on fire and their hooves are made of steel. Their horns are black and shiny and their hot breath he could feel. Up both the bee went through them as they thundered through the sky, for he saw the riders coming hard, and he heard the mournful cry. Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yo, Ghost riders in the sky. And cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will die. Trying to catch that devil's herd across these endless skies. Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yo, Ghost riders in the sky.
On Thursday, there's a special mass ascension. This time it's special shaped balloons. There's Darth Vader, Yoda, a frog, all kinds of creatures, a fire hydrant, you name it. There's somebody there's got a balloon there that looks like this, a cow, a stagecoach, you name it. We were standing on a little hill, and so we got to see a pretty good view of these hundreds of special shaped balloons launching in the early morning skies. Poor guy.
Or maybe. Yeah, I think he is. Two zebras over there. Close enough. Yeah, okay.
He's standing there. Oh, I thought sure he was under it.
I thought so he was too.
After all of the balloons had launched and it was sure that none of them were coming back to the launch field, we got a demonstration of paraplanes playing soccer. This is about the most minimalistic flying contraption you can imagine. The foregoing is just an attempt to capture the great times and memories that we had at Albuquerque Blloon Fiesta. Winnebago did an excellent job of putting us in the right place at the right time with the right people. So whether you've got an RV or not, getting to the Albuquerque Blloon Fiesta some year should be on your bucket list.